Week 13 of the J&J Express Sports Beat. I'm your host, Brett Butler.
And I'm your host, Jeffrey Scher, and as usual, coming to you live from the Changing Times Ale House in East Northport, Long Island, home of the world-famous Wings. Just a small recap of Week 12 here, the NFL. Our locks were coming in this week. Brett over here went 3-0 against the spread, and I went 2-1, and we both went 10-6 against the spread, so pretty good week overall. A couple of few things. Jake Delhomme again going on the downside, 4 interceptions versus the Jets. Indy, big comeback against Houston, 17 points down. They win and cover. Minnesota rolling along against Chicago. Warner's questionable, Arizona for this week. And Delhomme, broken finger, broken on the throwing hand. He might not be playing against Carolina. It looks like he's not so far, but we'll know sooner later in the week. But right now, he's not playing. So we're going to go right into it this week here. Thursday, you got the Jets, 5-6 at Buffalo, 4-7. Buffalo's getting 3. Who do you like in this game, Brett?
I gotta take the Jets on this. Rex Ryan actually from Buffalo in his early days. We got Revis against Tio, which is their big threat the last couple of weeks. I think they'll shut him down, and they don't have many more options other than that.
Well, I like Buffalo in this game. I like Buffalo at home. They're playing actually in Toronto, and they had a nice game against the Jets. The last time they won 16-13 in overtime. I like Buffalo in this game. Philadelphia 7-4 at Atlanta 6-5. Atlanta's getting 5.5. I like Atlanta in this game. Even though Matt Ryan is out with a turf toe for this game, Chris Redman had a nice game against Tampa Bay last week. Hey, Philly barely beat Washington, and Atlanta's tough at home, so that's why I like Atlanta.
I'm taking Philadelphia on this. Michael Turner's also out, and I just think I like Donovan McNabb and their defense to step up.
Okay, St. Louis 1-10 at Chicago 4-7. St. Louis is getting 8.5. What do you like in this game, Brett?
I'm going to take St. Louis on this. They've been beat by the run the last couple of weeks, but luckily for them, Matt Forte hasn't had much running game of his own lately. So, they've made some close games also recently. So I'm going to take St. Louis.
I got to disagree with you on this game. I like Chicago. Chicago is 6-2 against the spread, past 8 at home against St. Louis. After getting beat up by Minnesota, they got the Rams coming up. I think Cutler's going to have a great game. Rams can't stop anybody. I like Chicago. Detroit 2-9 at Cincinnati, 8-3. Detroit's getting 13. What do you like in this game, then, Brett?
I'm going to take Cincinnati. Cedric Benson should be back. Plus, they had Larry Johnson just in case, who had 100 yards rushing last week. The average loss by Detroit over this year is 16.5 points.
Yeah, Detroit gives up an average of 30.4 points per game. Cincinnati should win big in this game, even though they didn't cover against Cleveland. Cleveland's in their own division.
Yeah.
Cincinnati against Detroit at home. We both like Cincinnati. Tennessee 2-4 at Indianapolis, 11-0. What do you like in this game? Tennessee, by the way, is getting 6.5 in this game.
I like Tennessee, actually. I think Vince Young's done a good job. I think having him sit the last year and a half or so really did well. He's not as nervous when he throws the ball as he did when he started.
Tennessee's riding a 5-game winning streak. Indianapolis is 5-0 at home, but they're 1-4 against the spread. Look what happened against Houston for Indianapolis. We both like Tennessee in this game. I think Indy might start resting some people towards the playoffs. We both like Tennessee.
I think the Titans want some revenge on their perfect season ending last year. They're going to try and end someone else's perfect season.
Yeah. Denver 7-4 at Kansas City, 3-8. Kansas City's getting 4.5. I like Denver in this game. Denver's really showing a lot of things. The big throttle of the Giants on Thanksgiving Day. Kansas City was nowhere to be found against the surging Chargers. After what nice win against Pitt, I like Denver in this game.
Yeah, I'll take Denver too. I just like their defense, and against Kansas City's offensive line, I don't think they're going to have a chance. They have 32 sacks on the season, and 4.5 points I don't think is that much. I know KC is a trap game sometimes in Kansas City, but not.
I like Denver as well. New Orleans 11-0 at Washington, 3-8. Washington's getting 9.5. What do you like in this game, Brett?
Gotta take New Orleans. Their average victory over the NFC East so far this year is 24 points and 17 overall with the rest of the league. I gotta take that. Washington does have the #1 defense against the pass, but they have one of the weakest schedules out of anyone in the league.
Yeah, I don't see Washington playing New Orleans tight after playing Philly tight and faltering, at the end of the game. We both like New Orleans. New Orleans is just too exciting right now. I mean, they walloped New England at home on Monday night. They showed the whole world that they're for real. We both like New Orleans. Tampa Bay 1-10 at Carolina, 4-7. Tampa Bay's getting 6. I like Tampa Bay in this game, even though it's a nobody cares game.
Yeah, like you said before, Delhomme's out. Matt Moore is the backup, who's only had 3 starts 2 years ago. Didn't do that well. Tampa Bay has covered 3 of the last 4 against the spread.
Yeah, and also they're playing competitively. So I think Josh Freeman might have a big game against an inexperienced quarterback in Carolina. Houston is 5-6 at Jacksonville, 6-5. This is a pick'em game, and Jacksonville's 4-1 at home, but they're 1-4 against the spread. I like Houston in this game to bounce back after that loss against Indianapolis. They're pissed off.
Yeah, Houston, they seem like a team that's afraid to make the playoffs, but either way, I don't think they have a chance even if they win this game. So I'll also take Houston.
Yeah. Look for a big game from Schaub. Jacksonville's horrible at home against the spread. They're also 2-7 in the last 9 at home against Houston, so that's something to look forward to. Oakland is next game. Oakland 3-8 at Pittsburgh 6-5. This is a spread from USA Today. They're 12.5. Oakland's getting 12.5. Pittsburgh's terrible against the spread. Palomalo's still out. Roethlisberger will play in this game. I like Pittsburgh in this game to cover.
Yeah, I gotta take Pittsburgh also. Willie Parker's also back this week, and Bruce Gradkowski is back in Pittsburgh, his hometown. But the last two games he was there, he's 25 for 50 passing with 7 interceptions.
Yeah, you know, 3 losses straight for Pittsburgh. I see them to bounce back. San Diego 8-3 at Cleveland 1-10. Cleveland's getting 13. What do you like in this game, there, Fred?
San Diego in Browntown. I'll definitely take San Diego. They're averaging 31 points in the last 6 victories. Conversely, Cleveland in the last 6 game span, 11 points average. So
yeah, I like San Diego. San Diego destroyed Kansas City last week. Cleveland covered against Cincinnati. But, hey, San Diego's on a roll. They won 6 in a row. I think they're going to make it 7. We both like San Diego in this game. San Francisco 5-6 at Seattle 4-7. This is a pick'em game. What do you like, Brett?
I take San Francisco. They were using their spread offense a lot last week, and Alex Smith looked sharp. And Seattle, they had Justin Forsett rushed for 100 yards 2 out of the last 3 games, but they said they're going to start Julius Jones this week coming up. Who only rushed for 100-yard game in 8 games.
San Francisco's also got the best ATS in the NFL right now. They're 8-2-1 against the spread. Seattle's only beaten the Rams twice, Detroit and Jacksonville. I like San Francisco big in this game. Dallas 8-3 at the Giants 6-5. Giants are getting 2.5. I like Dallas in this game, coming off a nice win against Oakland. Giants were manhandled by Denver. Eli's playing hurt, whether he says it or not. Antonio Pierce is done for the season. Hey, I like Dallas in this game.
Yeah, I gotta take Dallas too. Eli, we all think Eli's a gimp. He's not admitting it, but we all think he's hurt and just hiding it. I know Dallas has had some dismal Decembers, but I think they're going to get their only win in December this week.
We both like Dallas here. Minnesota 10-1 at Arizona 7-4. This is another USA Today spread. Arizona's getting +2. Warner is questionable for the game, but hey, I like Minnesota at home. Come on. I'm sorry, Minnesota on the road. I like Minnesota on the road, but come on, the Vikings, they're on a roll. They're showing the world also they're for real.
Yeah, 2 points. That's nothing. Yeah, Minnesota I think is, if not the best team in the league, the second best team in the league. New Orleans might be a bit better, but I think Minnesota has the best team all around, offense, defense, special teams.
Leinart didn't have a bad day, but remember, he's inexperienced, he doesn't have as much experience, and he's playing against Minnesota defense that's pumped up. Sunday night, you got New England 7-4 at Miami 5-6. Miami's getting 5. I like New England in this game, big.
Yeah, you know, they always play each other tough, but I think the last 2 in a row losses that New England had during the regular season was back in '06. So I look for them to come out strong and dominate.
Yeah, New England is also 6-3 against the spread versus Miami in the last 9.
Miami gave up 24 points in the 4th quarter against Buffalo last week.
Monday night, you got Baltimore 6-5 at Green Bay 7-4. Baltimore's getting 3.5. Who do you like in this game?
I'll take Green Bay in this. They allowed the least amount of yards per game, well, they actually given up 44 sacks, but they still tend to win with Rodgers on his back.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When Rodgers is in the national spotlight, he always plays a very good game. I look to him to do another great game on Monday night against Baltimore. As long as there's no turnovers, hey, I like Green Bay in this game.
Definitely. And
now we go to our locks. My 3 favorites for this week, I like Houston, I like San Francisco, and I like Dallas. Who do you like, Brett?
I like New Orleans over Washington, San Diego definitely over Cleveland, and Minnesota over Arizona with Warner out.
So there you go. You have it. Week 13 in the NFL. As usual, we're coming to you live from the Changing Times Ale House in East Northport, Long Island, home of the world famous Wings. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.